Another round on Minneopa. It's like 85, sunny, pretty hot. Very little wind. Feeling pretty good with the driver still. Sounded good. It was good. $150 out, as you can see, right in front of the 150 plaque and stick. Just trying not to go over the green. That's basically my goal here, is straightforward and not long. A little bit short, but I'll take that. Do a little bump and run here. This green rolls to the right. Basically everything rolls to the right, so I kind of want to hit to the left. Don't go far enough to the left. As you can see, it just rolls out to the right. This is a pretty tough putt. It doesn't look tough because the GoPro doesn't show the elevation change that well. But it's gonna break like a foot. But it's a par putt. Gonna line it up. Try my hardest. And just falls in. Feeling pretty good. Par on the first hole. That's usually not a hole that I par. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. A little bit of wind here. Wind's at my back. And I'm gonna crush this one. Spoiler alert. Feeling really good with the driver right now. I'm up about 70 yards out, 80 yards out. This guy in the tee box, he's an acquaintance of mine. They didn't see where the ball went, so I pointed it out to him. He hit a tree, kind of kicked over into my fairway a little bit. Train coming through. So I'm not going to talk over the train. That's what I'm going to try to do. Try to hit this one to the right a little bit, because everything just rolls to the left. And it does. I'm a little short, but I'm on. I've got a putt. Not an easy putt, but a putt. Birdie putt. So I'm not going to complain. Probably going to aim about 4.5 feet to the right. Just kind of let it curve down. The pace is going to be the big question. I putted around a little bit on the practice green, but I didn't do anything long like this. I just did between like the 5-footers and the 10-footers, and I make a handful of those today, so that the work was successful, I guess. This one I hit just way too hard. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's, I don't know, I blew it by like 6 feet. I got a good read on it though. I've been trying to do that more, like watch it after you miss it. It kind of gives you a read coming back if you pay attention, instead of turning away or putting your head down or whatever. So I'm going to line this one up. It's a par putt. Tap down a little bit of grass. It's kind of in my line, my aiming point. Get a good hit on it, and it goes in. So I'm par, which is a good start for me. I haven't hit better than double on this hole this year, so that's cool. Third hole, I decided to do something a little different. I pull a 5-iron, and I'm just going to kind of cut this hole in half. So the 5-iron lets me get up and over that front tree, and then the fairway kind of dog legs back, get a nice hit on it, straight as an arrow, lands me right in the fairway. Got about 155 left on this, which is good. I'm gonna do that every time from now on, because it's a crapshoot with the 3-wood whether or not I get it up over that tree, and if I don't, it just turns this into a 6, a guaranteed 6. So why not just hit the 5-iron? Put this one on the bunker. I'm not thrilled about it. I'm iffy in the bunkers. I can get out of them, but I'm not great at getting close. I'm not great at kind of getting the right line on it. I'm out though, about 8 feet. Another difficult green. I kind of had 2 lines when I was lining this one up, and I couldn't decide which one I liked better. Which one I liked least, the least worst, I guess. I wasn't confident at all. So I tried one, and it was unsuccessful. Make the comebacker. I was excited to try to go par with a save out of the sand. I think that would have been nice. That would have been really nice. So I dropped another just to try the other line and see if it was any better. It wasn't. I didn't have a lot of faith in either of them, so I didn't really see that putt going in, which I guess is not something you want for a par putt. So the 4th hole is a par 3, and now here I've been having a problem with these T-Rails, these new irons of mine. I don't know why, but I can't hit them off the tee. I'm pushing everything to the right. I'm aimed probably 15 feet to the left on this, and it's gonna land 20 feet to the right. I do it a couple times. So I mean, like, the distance is good. They're game improvement. So I mean, the mishits are fine, but I don't know why I'm pushing them to the right when I'm hitting them off a tee. Decent chip, a little hesitant. The screen's pretty flat. I think I say that every video. But I always find some kind of break when I look at it. I overanalyze it. So I'm looking at it right now, and I'm thinking it's like a cup and a half to the right. But I want to go par. I've never started this course even par after 4, so I'm really trying to make this putt. And I feel like I've got it locked in at like a cup to the right. Get a good hit on it, and it's just outside. Disappointing, to say the least. But, you know, it was a good putt. I committed to a line. I hit the line. It wasn't the right line. So I'm not that mad about it. 5th hole, long par 3, 210 yards. This 3-wood always fades for me, so I just aim maybe 10 feet to the left. There used to be a tree over there, and that basically ruined my day every time. But they knocked that tree down and cleared it up over there, and that's where I go. So just off the green. Okay, so I think last video I talked about how I would rather bump and run, even from right off the green. And I thought about it, and I read some stuff about putting from the fringe and whatnot, and I'm gonna start putting a little bit more. The chances of having a really bad shot are a lot less with the putter. I feel more confident with the bump and run, but I feel like my margin for error is greater, because I could just duff a little chip and it would go 2 feet, where if I make solid contact with the putter, I'm at least going to put the ball out there. And really, realistically, I'm not going to make the bump and runs. It's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to put it close, so why not use the putter. Clean that one up for par, by the way. So on my way between the 5th hole and the 6th hole, I thought, wow, I'm having a really good round, like the best round ever. So then I teed this up and I topped it. And I thought, yep, I just jinxed myself. And I did. So there's no one behind me. I thought, I'm going to tee another one up just to kind of maybe shake all that out of my system. Sometimes that works. So trying again, getting the form back. And I topped it again. Not happy, but still having a good round. There's a group like 10 feet away from me outside of the frame of the camera, and I just topped 2 drives in a row. I pulled a 5-wood, and sure enough, I topped the 5-wood. So I'm kind of making a mess out of this hole after I told myself I was having a great round. I'm about 90 yards out, and I don't have a club for 90 yards, so I've been trying these choked up pitching wedges, and if I catch them, they sail, they go too far. I did alright there. This green's tiny. This is kind of a delicate chip. If it rolls out more than probably 8 feet, it's gonna fall off the back of the green, or the side of the green, I guess. This one rolls out about 7. So it hangs on. At least gives me a look for bogey. Right now I'll take it after the way this hole started. I figure if I can make this bogey putt, maybe I can kind of clear my head from the jinxing that I did between the 5th and the 6th. But I'm also worried, the 7th hole, I have to tee another iron up, and man, I've just been making a mess out of the 7th hole too. So in the back of my mind, I'm just like, man, this round is gonna derail. And I've almost committed to that mindset, which is terrible. I missed it. It's not an easy putt. I was hoping it would go in, but just a little bit low. Tap in the double bogey, first one of the day. Usually I get the first one over with on like the 1st or the 3rd hole, so it's kind of disappointing, but it's kind of encouraging, right? You know, the whole first half is pretty solid. So now this is a teed up iron, and I'm aiming 10 feet, 15 feet to the left, and it goes about 40 yards to the right. No idea what happened, but I put it up in the next hole's rough, basically. There's 3 tiers out there. There's a lower tier, it's the valley. And then there's the middle tier, which is where the green and the bunker is. And then there's the top tier, which is basically an extension of the 8th fairway and rough. And I am way up there. So I'm going to tee another one up and just kind of like see if I can shake this out of my system. See if I can figure out what's going on. Little diagnostics on the fly, and it goes to the exact same spot. So I'm way up here. People familiar with the course know where I'm at. Up in the 3rd tier. Got to hit down about 15 feet, maybe 10 feet. And it's about a 40-yard shot. It looks right up into the sun. It's a bad idea. I put it on the fringe. So it's a pretty good shot, all things considered. I've got kind of a par putt-ish. As you can see, pretty steep hill. I'm going to line this up. This is the second one I'm going to putt from the fringe. And my problem is that I give too much respect to the break and the fringe, but realistically I'm going to hit it so hard through the fringe that the break's not going to affect it as much as it would a putt that's going to be rolling slower. So I've been over-reading the break out of the fringe, which has been putting my putts a few feet away from where the normal line would be. As you can see with this putt, I'm about 3 feet away. The pace was perfect though, so I make a mental note that I need to give a little less respect to the break on the fringe. Tap that one in for bogey, and all things considered, not a bad bogey on that hole from where I was off the tee. I could have made a big number on that hole. I'm trying to get the driver back in shape here on the 8th. It's a drivable par 4, parallel with the highway, as you can hear. This one slices a bit. It's headed towards the 9th tee box. I had to apologize to the group in front of me. They were on the tee box, and I just about hit onto the box. There was just so much slice in it that I didn't think I'd have the distance. So, this chip, there's a little bit of a little bump behind the ball. I should have switched to the pitching wedge, but I didn't. Hit it pretty thin coming out of that rough. Got myself in a really weird spot in the bunker here, kind of funky stance. I'm just hoping to get it out and not make a big number now. This is a 3rd shot. I get it on the green, but I roll it by probably 25 feet, something like that. Tough putt coming back. Kind of kicking myself for not practicing the lag putts on the practice green before the round. I was on the practice green, I didn't put a single lag putt for whatever reason. I've had 3 of them this round. Gonna line it up, just give it a good wrap, see what happens. I don't think it's gonna do much. It's more of a pace thing for me. I'm nervous about the pace on this putt. Line's decent, but I blew it by. Left myself with like 8 feet, 7 feet coming back. Fairly straight putt. I'm kind of frustrated. I'm actually kind of hot too. It was catching up to me. I had a Gatorade. I'm sipping on it the whole round, but I was starting to heat up. Plus the last couple of holes weren't going so hot. Ended up making a mess out of that hole, even though it was basically pin high. Decided to go back, just do a little sanity check with the lag putt. And this one's pretty good. It doesn't go in, but I mean, it's right up there. So I'll take that. Teeing up on the 9th. I've been hitting really good off of this tee box. I've been putting it over that big tree way out in the center. The problem is, I do it again. I crush this drive again. The problem is I don't have a club for this length, so I keep putting myself in a position that I need to figure out this approach shot. I've been doing kind of the choked up pitching wedge. I think I did that on 2. This one I put over. Over's bad here. It's downhill coming back. It's a fringe putt, but it's a downhill lie on the fringe, and then it goes up and then back downhill on the green. And I'm so worried about blowing this thing by that I think I hit it maybe 3 feet. It was pretty bad. I'm pretty embarrassed. There's a couple of guys up there watching me, and I just putted a ball 3 feet, missed it by like 12 feet. So I'm lining this one up. This is my It's my par putt. So my birdie putt went 3 feet, and then I'm going to blow my par putt by. So I blew it by, I don't know, 5-6 feet, and I'm just kind of over it by now. I was really happy after the 5th hole, and then it just kind of went downhill after the 6th. 7th was alright, saved that bogey, but that's all I got. Decent round. Have a good one.